and goes mentally unstable after being stung. Hello, and welcome back to another video. I hope you've been enjoying some of my content. I'd just like to first off thank all the subscribers and people who've been viewing my videos. Thank you so much. Now today I'm going to have a little bit of a different concept with my videos. As you can probably tell from the title, I'm going to do a character analysis for this first time. So basically how character analysis works is I'm going to be talking about a specific character, which today's character is going to be Alby from the Maze Runner. And we're going to talk about basically character development, achievements, how their relationship to the main character, and things that just happen within their lives. Now, Alby is a part of the Maze Runner franchise. He's a character in that book series. And so, stuff I'm going to be talking about has major spoilers for the first book in the Maze Runner series. And, I do refer to the Fever Code. So if you haven't read the Fever Code, you might be a little confused. And if you've only seen the Maze Runner movie, you might be a little lost too. I'm going to stay as true to the book as possible, just because that's, I guess, that's what I'm used to. I'm a reader. I'm just going to get started with this. So, Alby started off with being in the Wicked headquarters around 8 at the time of the main events in the Fever Code, which is a prequel to the Maze Runner series. He was friends with Minho and Newt, and they would gather together in this closet almost. I forgot. It's been a while. And they just talk, and they'd have fun. And they started to be really clever, and they started to realize that Thomas and Teresa were in separate kind of groups. They were kind of... Thomas and Teresa were the special ones, I guess, so it's not their video, it's Alby's. So Alby, Minho, and Newt were just going to do their own thing. They noticed that they're with everybody else. They lived in rooms with bunk beds, and they'd eat together with all the rest of the people in the maze trials. I think specifically by gender, but I'm not completely sure. I actually know that sounds about right. They'd eat together with all the other boys, they'd go to school with all the other boys, and that's how it worked. After he found out about Thomas, Thomas was invited to Alby, Minho, and Newt's friend group. And so they'd have a good time, and they'd kind of get in some trouble. Now, there's this one instant where they were caught sneaking outside. So Alby, Minho, Newt, and Thomas and Teresa were caught sneaking outside, and they got in trouble, and they had to go walk past all these cranks, except for one of them, I guess. They had to go walk past all these cranks, and as their punishment to be like, this is what the world looks like, you're not supposed to go outside. Now, fast forward, the maze is built. They're just like, okay, kids, how about you go line up against the wall, and then we're gonna shuffle you into this room, and you're gonna explain if you're not, and you're just gonna get ready to go into this maze trial thingy that has been your ultimate destiny to help the world. And now Alby started freaking out like the rest of them, being like, Thomas, you were my friend, please do something. And that was the main moment where Alby started really hating Thomas, because he's like, you have power and I don't, and we need help here. This is not okay. Now we're going to get into the Maze Runner. Now we're going to get into some Fever Code snippets and a little bit of the Maze Runner. So, Alby in the maze was very close friends with Newt, even though their memories had been completely lost. And he started to become quite an influence, almost. In the movie, he was said to have been the first one there, because they get a new person each month. But in the book, he had come up with the majority of the Gladers who were actually in the Glade. So he got to go work with all his friends, and they figured out some things pretty quickly. Now, Alby, this is probably the most basic Maze Runner trivia, was named after Albert Einstein. That was a really great wow moment when I realized that. His best quote was, "If you ain't scared, you ain't human." So, yay, Alby quotes. He was portrayed by Amal Amin in the movie. I really hope I said his first name right. I'm really bad with names. I think I said that before. Oh well. While his time in the Glade, there was this one guy named George who had this friend named Nick. I hope it's Nick, because that's the only name I know in my brain. One day, George in the maze kind of got stung by a griever, maybe, and he went completely insane. Now, everyone in the maze tried to be like, what do we do? Oh, there's this serum over there that we found that might be able to help him. So they give George the serum after he's been bitten by the griever, and George gets even more crazy. So now, quite a few of you will know that when you were stung by a griever, one of the monsters inside the maze, it is extremely bad. They turn they have some animal sense, and they just go completely ballistic and start hurting people. George was hurting people, and so Alby started repeatedly punching the kid in the face. And these people are 14 at this time, 13, around that age, so they were pretty young kids. Because George started, it was really violent. And then when George continued to become violent, he tried to claw one kid's eyes out. Alby is like, oh, what do we do? What do you do? I know what to do. Kill the kid. And he grabbed a sharp broom and shoved it through the kid's neck. And and then Nick wasn't cool with that idea, so then Nick became the unofficial Glade leader. Nick eventually, between the fever code and the Maze Runner, dies, and as described in the Maze Runner, Alby was kind of a new leader. I don't know too much about Alby's job, but as a leader of the maze, he gets to commune with all of the fellow keepers. So he gets to talk to people, explain what's going on, gets to deal with punishments and all that good stuff. And he maintains his close relationship with Newt, and it's good fun. He's also kind of in charge of banishments. We see Ben in the movie and the book was bitten by a griever and therefore became more hostile, and they had to throw him out after he was found attacking Thomas, I believe. I don't know how in the book. My memory of the book is fading. And Alby seemed to be a very harsh character. He wanted the rules to be followed, which the rules were what? No slacking, no hurting people. There was a third rule. I'll probably put that somewhere around me. He just wanted the Glade to be as orderly as possible. And then around the time that Thomas showed up, everything bad started happening. Alby was kind of confused. Gally was, being like, well, this kid was, this person was being, Thomas is being very, all these bad things are happening, and they don't know what to do, and they're just like, we should punish him, or we should banish him, or, I don't know. And so, the events of the Maze Runner happen, focus on Let's focus on Thomas. So Thomas comes, and before Thomas figures out how to escape the maze, Minho finds out that there is a griever. I think it's the one that stung Ben, and Alby went to go check it out with Minho. And so, while Alby is with Minho, they find out the griever was actually alive and wasn't dead. And Alby ends up getting stung, and Minho takes on the job of getting Alby to safety. Now, when Minho was this close to getting Alby to safety, the door started closing, and Thomas just like, you know what, I want to help people. So, Thomas goes in there to help Minho and Alby, but everyone's like, yeah, no, we're dead anyway. There's no way we're going to get out of here alive. And so Minho and Thomas work together to secure Alby in a safe position away from the griever, because they know that they're going to be spending the night in the maze, and that it is an incredibly difficult job, and nobody's ever survived it. That's why when banishment occurs, when you throw someone into the maze, overnight. They know the person won't survive and they will die. And so basically, when Alby and Minho knew their fate, they were kind of like, yeah, no, this is bad. This is really bad. Alby was hurt. He was stung. And there was this massive rush to get Alby, to make Alby better. And Thomas ends up, I believe, in the books or the movie, I know the movie, he's able to tie some vine around him in the maze and put him on, like, the wall, after running with Minho for a long time to get away from the Grievers. Now, Alby and Minho and Thomas end up surviving the night. They get Alby to the Medjacks when they get out of the maze. And Alby, at this point, when he's out of his daze from the serum and being stung by a Griever, he gets some of the memories back. And then he starts freaking out to everyone, like, hey, this is bad, outside is bad, and he just can't, like, he cannot have a stable mindset in the maze, in the glade or whatever. And so he just has this, he's just not okay anymore. He is just, his thoughts are jumbled. The life as he knew it has been ruined after he found out all these secrets by being stung by the Griever. So Alby, who is not in a stable mindset, is, he, like, when Thomas is like, hey, we can help, I have a way to figure out how to escape the maze, Alby goes and burns, the shack or whatever, that houses some of the secrets that the runners have tried to accumulate over the 3-year period they've been in the maze. And then Alby bangs his head against the table to severely injure about his forehead, to make it look like he was victim before the fire happened. Now the Medjacks were able to get him. He was okay. They bandaged him whatever way they could. And he ended up being fine. He said, like, oh yeah, no, there's a person came in, you know, they set the fire. I tried to help, but it didn't work. And ultimately, he just could not be okay with this idea. He burned it because he knew that if they escaped the maze, they would be forced with the awful reality that is outside of it. He wanted to keep his friends safe in any way that he could, and so he played victim in that way. Fast forward, they figure out what's going to happen. They figure out how to escape the maze, and Alby is really kind of against this idea in a way. And when they go in this massive, like, maze fight to get the Grievers away long enough for Thomas, Teresa, and Chuck to type in the stuff to make the Grievers die and all their friends to safety, Alby is the first to die in that battle. So they have all these people lined up with as many weapons as they could, while Thomas, Teresa, and Chuck go to do their own thing. And Alby goes and he sacrifices himself for his friends. And the memories, I think he sacrificed himself, yeah. And he just, the memories were too much, and he just knew that maybe he could slow them down enough for his friends to have an advantage. And that's where Alby's story ends. He was in the his memory was, like, always forever. That is the story of Alby. My goodness, it's violent. I'm so sorry. Overall, his character was such an interesting one to read about. Had an interesting job. I mean, nobody else except for Alby was alive to tell the tale of being and experiencing a leader in the glade. I'm going to take this time to put up some quotes His the first word he said in the Maze Runner, and the last thing he said in the Maze Runner. After that, I guess that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please subscribe, like, and share, so maybe your friends can watch it if you enjoyed this. I'm definitely hoping to make more character analysis videos, give you the backstory on all your favorite characters. If you want me to do that, please like, and I will get on that. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great rest of your day. Bye.